Hello everyone, Dr. Suneel, Dhand, medical doctor. The sheer arrogance of doctors and their ability to completely dismiss patient concerns makes me so furious and mad. I see it all the time, but I wanted to share an example with you here, perfectly highlighting the scale of the problem. Now, last week we made a video on concerning statin side effects, and we were talking as three doctors very openly and transparently about some concerning statin side effects that we've seen over the years. And I'll include a link to that video down below. And we wanted to highlight many things that are not talked about anywhere nearly enough, which are affecting a lot of people out there. Because, of course, the medical industrial complex and indeed the medical profession thinks that statins are a miracle drug. Of course, what we know is that these medications, like a lot of others, are generating billions upon billions of dollars every year. So we talked about some very well-documented side effects, adverse reactions, ranging from muscle aches, ranging from cognitive issues, other abnormal blood tests. So we made the video in good faith and we got some replies, which were less than happy. But here is one reply from a doctor, which made me so angry and perfectly encapsulates how certain members of the medical profession think. And I'm going to read it out to you here. So take a look at this. You guys are vague with your comments at an academic level. This argument is pitched at schoolboy level. You need epidemiologists and biochemists on board to strengthen your pitch. Take on Peter Attia for a valid discussion instead of bullying your believers. About 10% of my patients get muscle weakness pain and far fewer get brain fog. Elevated LFTs, those are liver function tests, about 5%. So I really don't know where to start with that, but I'm going to go through it here because this is the perfect avatar of the detached physician from reality. They're in their own world. I don't know how these people even think, how their brains work. But let me go through his points one by one. Firstly, he criticizes us for making a discussion at schoolboy level. According to him, it should be more scientific and academic. Well, we were making content, and in fact, I always make content to speak to members of the general public. I don't want to appear like some high and mighty doctor. I want to talk openly. I respect autonomy. I want every person I encounter to make an informed decision. And we do that by speaking plainly and in everyday English that everybody in our countries can understand. But this is what you have from establishment doctors. Everything has to be academic because to them, that's the only thing that matters. They forget that for 99% of the population, they don't want an academic discussion. They want people to speak to them like human beings in language that everybody can understand. And I would say the same for me if I'm interacting with someone in a different field, whether it's finance, economics, law. If I'm not an expert in the field, speak to me plainly. Help me to understand what's going on so that I can make an informed decision. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that he used the word bullying. According to him, making podcasts like we made, and in fact making content like I make, is bullying our viewers. So I will let you comment down below whether you think I'm a bully. Am I bullying anybody? These people should look themselves in the mirror because we all know who the real bullies are. We remember the pandemic when people were coerced into doing things with very little evidence, from locking themselves in their rooms to taking a brand new therapeutic injection with a novel technology. I know what bullying is, and I hope everybody else does as well. And these people are the real bullies, not people who want to talk openly and honestly in plain language and let everybody make their own decision. Thirdly, and this is perhaps the worst one of all, he says that, 10% of my patients have issues with muscles like weakness. 10%, 1 in 10 people. Are you frigging kidding me? That is a disaster if that's what he's saying. And often, sadly, a lot of his patients are very likely at an older age and they're having muscle weakness. Well, what is that doing? It's making them not live a good life, making them more prone to falling. And he dismisses that 10%. And the really ironic thing here is that if you look at the number needed to treat for many medications, but let's talk about statins, it's often hundreds of people that need to be treated to attain a small benefit. This is not me talking. This is the actual evidence. When you actually dive into the data, the number needed to treat is really high. So how on earth could this doctor downplay 10%? He then goes on to say, well, a few less have brain fog. Brain fog? Who the heck wants brain fog from a medication which is going to fix a number, but actually the number needed to treat is super high? Again, minimizing things. And we saw this during the pandemic. We know how these people think. Then he said that elevated liver function tests, what we call transaminases, occur in 5% of his patients. 1 in 20 people has elevated LFTs. That means the liver has come under so much stress from a medication that the liver enzymes have gone up. To put that into context, it will take an alcoholic years before their liver comes under enough stress usually to show up in blood tests. But this is what we're dealing with. And this is why I know what I'm up against, because the entire medical system and the way that doctors are trained to think, in my opinion, is wrong. They are totally one-sided, pro-big pharma. Everything is fixed with a pill or an injection. And nobody's taking a step back and saying, well, hold on, what are we doing? We're over-medicating a population. People are actually getting sicker. This is reflected in statistics. And it seems like nobody at the top of the medical profession is taking a pause to think, what on earth are we doing? Our minds might be collectively working in the wrong way. We are thinking that medications are the solution to everything out there. And this is perfectly reflected in what this doctor had to say. He was piling on us for making an open discussion about statin medications and concerning side effects that we've seen that affect real people that not enough people are talking about. We never even said once, you shouldn't take a statin. But it bothered this doctor so much that we said something against a sacred big pharma product, which only causes muscle weakness in 10% of people. No big deal, right? 1 in 10, 1 in 20 gets elevated liver function tests. A few more people have brain fog. We're fixing a number. Whoopee-doo. Seriously, the medical profession is so utterly lost right now. This is not why I went to medical school. I think the last 10 to 20 years, something utterly ridiculous has happened. I feel so bad for the millions of people out there. And I know a lot of you watch this channel. You're really trying your best to optimize your metabolic health naturally. You don't want to be on medicines. You know that medicines should be a last resort. Of course they should. And you're trying very hard to find good doctors in your local area. I totally get that. Because this viewpoint here is not isolated. I'm telling you, it's not isolated. We saw this during the pandemic. The medical profession is so utterly broken, so full of arrogance, so completely aligned with the medical industrial complex and the pharmaceutical industry. It is going to take a lot. I think we need to restart the whole thing from scratch, completely change the way that doctors are trained, the way that doctors practice medicine. We are so far away from the original principles of Hippocrates. That's all I've got to say about that. Let me know your thoughts down below. And I'm okay. Even if you disagree with me, you can agree with that doctor if you want. But I'm all for being fully open, transparent, and everybody out there, you make your own decision after being presented with all of the evidence, all of the benefits, all of the risks. Decide what is best for you. And I believe that that is the best way to practice medicine. I'm rooting for you all to succeed. Keep going, everyone. Check the links in the description down below for my website, all the other work I do, and our natural well-being store. ohighwellness.com if you're in the USA, North America, ohighwellness.co if you're in the UK, Europe. Also, my health program. And if you're not already signed up for my free newsletter, why not? All links down below in the description. Hit the like button if you like this video, the subscribe button for more similar videos in the future. That really helps with the algorithm and getting these videos out to as many people as possible. We will speak again very soon.